Hi, I'm Dr. Stefanie Carnes. I'm the president of the International Institute for Trauma and Addiction Professionals. Today I'm going to be talking about staggered disclosure and betrayal trauma as it pertains to sex addiction. So I work a lot with partners of sex addicts and couples that are trying to heal from sex addiction. And this is a process that's discovering that your loved one is a sex addict is very difficult for partners, devastating for partners. They experience what we call betrayal trauma, in that many partners that have learned that their loved one is a sex addict or had that information shared with them in a disclosure experience symptoms of PTSD and acute stress disorder. There was actually a research study that showed about 70% of partners experience these types of symptoms. So it's actually very common. Sex addiction is just devastating for families and very difficult to understand for partners. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about staggered disclosure and what is typical for partners as they learn about sex addiction in the coupleship. So staggered disclosure, basically, it's very common for addicts as their addiction is progressing to want to attempt damage control. And so they usually reveal either no information about their addiction, hide their addiction from their partners, or just reveal a little bit about it. So sometimes partners will know perhaps about a little bit of pornography use, or that the addict attends strip clubs, or what have you. And so they might just know a small bit of information. But as the addiction continues to progress, usually more information starts to come out over time. The addict can only hide their secret double life so long. And so the information tends to come out in drips and drabs over time. And we call this staggered disclosure. And so the typical process looks something like the addict will try to deny everything, disclose a little bit more, get confronted as more comes out, and eventually disclose all. And so this process is really devastating for the trust in the relationship, because really what's happening is the addict is saying, no, now I'm telling you the truth, or here's the truth about this, and then more information starts to unfold, and so the partner really doesn't know what to believe, and really feels like they can't trust the addict. And so what we found is that in most cases, research shows that about 70-80% of the time, this staggered disclosure process happens for couples. And usually this happens before they even engage in treatment. And so for a partner, they start to see all of this information coming out, and they start to put together that this is not just a few strip clubs or a single affair. This is starting to represent a pattern of out-of-control behavior over time. And it starts to, more and more, typically starts to unfold. And so this is very hard for the partner to digest. Usually creates a lot of anger on the part of the partner, and pain, feelings of betrayal. And so it's very, very damaging to the trust in the partnership. And typically what happens is it sets up a pretty unhealthy dynamic amongst the couple. And that dynamic is usually where the partner is confronting, demanding more information, wanting the truth, looking for details or information to verify that they're not crazy. And the addict is usually trying to deny and avoid. And that is extremely common, happens in, I would say, the majority of cases. And so while healing sex addiction, we have to intervene in this dynamic. And what we recommend is a facilitated disclosure process to help couples get through that. And so the facilitated disclosure process is done for couples that want to save their relationship and restore trust. And this is done for addicts that have engaged in recovery and are invested in their recovery process. So once an addict has invested in their recovery and can show that they've had some behavioral changes, they're following their treatment plan, they usually work with their therapist to get all the information into one document that will empower the partner and the spouse with the truth around their behavior. And so usually a disclosure just contains clear factual information that won't leave the partner guessing, and also includes any information that the partner feels is important. So the partner's therapist will ask them what is important for them, and to know what they would like to know, and provides the addict's therapist with those questions. And those are all placed on the disclosure document. Then the therapist will facilitate a disclosure that is structured and provides some containment and a lot of support for the couple for the week. And so that is part of the couple healing process. And then typically after the couple goes through a facilitated disclosure process, there is intensive couples therapy to try and repair the damage caused by the addiction in the relationship. So the partner oftentimes shares an impact letter with the addict about how this has hurt them, how this has impacted them in many areas of their lives. And the addicts often do an emotional restitution exercise, which is part of their amends process. And so all of this work is designed to promote and facilitate healing for the coupleship. Well, it's not an easy task. It's important to know for people facing this that couples can recover. There are many couples that have been through this process, gotten to the other side, engaged in recovery together, and really saved their relationship from the scourge of sex addiction, and oftentimes even come out stronger on the other side. I've heard many couples say, gosh, if we hadn't been through this, we would have never gotten to this level as a couple. So it is possible to save the relationship and heal from this. So if you are a couple facing this issue, please, for more resources, go to sexhelp.com, www.sexhelp.com. And that can provide a list of therapists that have been trained to assist you with the process, and also a list of treatment facilities that can also help. So thank you for listening.